So, can we ask how old you are, young Richard?
I'm 66 at the moment.
66 and still surfing like a 16-year-old.
Or trying to, put it that way.
And Richard, what are you, same age as me?
63, yeah.
63, and Wayne?
Yeah, I'm 63 too, yeah.
Marvellous. First surfboard, Richard?
First surfboard was an Atlas Woods.
Yeah.
And I first spotted this particular board when I came out of college, really. It was about 1964. It's the first surfboard I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And from there I thought, oh hell, I'd have to have one of those. And it wasn't until 1966 that I could afford one.
Yeah.
And I think back in those days, I think it was about £70. I think that's what.
That would be,
yeah.
what was the wage?
Yeah,
probably
that's
£4 or
what I
£5,
paid
yeah.
And I didn't have a choice because there's
Yeah.
only one there, and I bought it in Hamilton.
Yeah.
It was a ducky blue with a white.
What sort of shop was it in?
It just looked like an old garage.
Yeah,
I can't.
Because a lot of
I
us,
don't know the name of the shop.
a lot of us sort of surfboards were in hardware shops and things like weirdo shops that they shouldn't have been.
It
Yeah.
wasn't, no. Yeah, but never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a 9-1 Atlas Wood. And I rode that until, oh, do you want me to keep going?
Yep, carry on, yeah.
Yeah, I rode that until
Can't stop it.
Yeah, trouble.
72. That board.
Same board, yeah.
Same board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same board right through.
So, what about you, Richard? What was your first surfboard?
That was an Atlas Woods,
Yeah.
about 9'6", I think. I got it for passing school cert,
Yeah, so your parents bought that?
1965, yeah.
Yeah. And what, if you didn't pass, you wouldn't have got it?
No, probably still be skateboarding.
Yeah. What about you, Wayne? What was your first surfboard?
I think my first one was an old Dunlop Island board. It had a nice yellow and green and white sort of flowery pattern all over the deck and all that sort of thing. And yeah, I had that for quite a while, and I think I bought that in, must have been 67, I think, because I remember I was earning £4.10 a week as an apprentice, and then it changed to dollars and cents, and it was $11 a week or something.
Yeah.
So that must have been what, 67 that changed.
Yeah, 67. Yeah.
So and then I had that for a while, and I went up to the power station to work when they first opened that up there, and that's where I met Roger Hall.
Yeah.
And he was about 10 then, and I used to keep this board out the back, and he used to come on, you going to work today? Yeah. Can I borrow the board? Yeah. So he
So what was he on a boogie board then or something?
I don't know what he was on there,
Yeah.
just skinny little kid with a pair of shorts on, come up.
So where did you start surfing, Richard?
Yes, at Raglan.
At Raglan?
Yeah, and the Mount, those were my two.
Yeah.
Because I was dairy farming at the time, and it was only in between milkings that I could go surfing.
Yeah.
So a bit over an hour out of driving away.
So did you belong to any clubs or you just free surf? Yeah. What about next, Richard?
Rosso Bay,
Where's that?
East Coast Bay's there, on the North Shore.
So did you get
We had to wait for a big northeasterly storm and then hope that blew for say 3 or 4 days, and then the day the wind changed around, you had to be out that morning.
Yeah. So did you miss a bit of school or something, or that?
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Quite a lot. Yeah.
What about Wayne? Where did you?
I was still in Auckland at the time, so I did most of mine at Muriwai.
Muriwai. Yeah.
And then when I moved up to the power station up here, I did it all up there.
So was there a lot of surfers then at Muriwai?
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you no leg ropes?
No leg ropes.
Yeah.
You know, 40-pound boards and a lot of paddling.
Yeah, if you got out the back and the clean-up set came through,
That was it.
it was a big swim.
So no wetsuits? Did you have wetsuit?
No wetsuits,
No.
What'd
you wear?
Oh, I had an old football jersey that sort of weighed almost as much as a surfboard.
Yeah.
And then I got a completely sleeveless neoprene top.
Yeah, vest.
Yeah.
Vest.
I had one of those as well.
They were that. Well, I sort of had one, but they weren't that fantastic.
It wasn't that good. It was.
Yeah,
It didn't. It was a bit loose.
Yeah.
And the water really just sort of washed through it, kept the wind off.
Mine was Moray was my one.
Okay.
All right.
One of the first ones that came out. Yeah.
Best surfboard. What's your best surfboard? Your current one, or you ever had one that you've sold and wish you
probably
had?
the current one.
Yeah.
Surfline. It's electric light.
Yeah.
And I'm running a 10-foot board at the moment.
Yeah. Good on you. What about your best surfboard? You ever had one that you've sold and wish you never had, or you happy with the?
No, the one I've got now is good. It's a 9'8" electric guide.
Yeah.
From Surfline, and I'm happy with that. It suits my style of surfing.
Yeah.
Easy to catch waves.
Yeah. What are you riding, Wayne? And what's your best surfboard you had?
Oh, the best one I've got is the one I've got now.
Yeah.
It's one of Roger's competitor deluxe
Yeah.
with a bit of extra width in it.
You've never had one that you sold and wished you'd never sold? I've done that several times. And
Yeah,
what the heck did I do that for?
I had an early Barry Bennett
Oh yeah, yeah.
pintail, and I wish I'd have kept it and learned to ride it properly. I didn't have it very long, and
Yeah.
I gave it away to a mate of mine. But
It looked quite nice probably on your wall
yes,
somewhere,
it's
wouldn't
got
it?
a nice long,
Yeah,
you know. And
yeah.
I took off on one wave at Muriwai and was getting a wash off the rocks.
Yeah.
And it sort of came up into a nice little peak, and I thought, this is good. Paddling it the first time I'd ridden, bloody thing, it shot out from under me like a bloody rocket, you know. So I didn't get to ride it very well.
Best ride, you ever had one of those days when it's just been fantastic that stands out in your mind, or was it the wave you had last week? Can you had one of the days where it's just been fantastic?
Yeah, probably I had two since I've been up in this area. One was Johnson Point,
Yeah.
and Richie was with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were stand-up barrels,
Yeah.
and both Rich and I were lucky enough to be there.
Yeah, yeah,
It's probably the biggest rev I've had.
yeah. Was that just a few years ago, or?
No, it's
Maybe
only
2 years ago?
Two
maybe.
or three
Yeah,
seasons
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
The Alzheimer's
But
has
it
come
was-
and then they
it's
can't.
something you just saw in magazines. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's just-
And you were there too? Yeah, we're just bowling off from a river mouth, was it?
Yeah, it was a
Feeling
Saturday morning. There were, I think there were 3 other guys in the water when we went in,
Yeah,
and when we left, I think there must have been over 40
is
guys.
that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It was packed, the car park was
Yeah.
packed.
yeah, yeah. The word got out pretty quick.
And that's probably the day that stands out the most.
Yeah. What about you, Wayne?
Probably like I was telling you this morning about that Raglan trip we went on. It
Yeah.
sort of started off at 2 foot, and we thought we'd made a balls of the bloody thing, and by the end of the week, sort of Thursday night, it was 8 foot, and that was just awesome.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic.
That
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sticks out in my mind.
So was that just in Manu Bay or around
Yeah,
the Dakota way?
Manu
Just,
Bay, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Just off the rocks.
yeah. So was the road down there then?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the car park down the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was about it.
What made you take up surfing, do you think, Richard? What?
I've always been, sort of in love with the sea.
Yeah.
And as kids, we always went to the Omoka actually, the mountain way on Tauranga,
Yeah.
for our holidays, and sort of went from there. Sort of, when we went to the mount on the surf beach, it was what they call surfo planes, and they were just plywood.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
blank, where you could hire them.
Yeah,
That or surf mats, I think they call them.
yeah, yeah.
there's
The
some
lilos, but
Yeah.
they were
A
a
little
denser,
short one,
a denser, like
yeah.
an inner tube type rubber.
Yeah.
And I used to be on them for hours. And
Yeah.
now they've got boogie boards, but
Yeah.
these things were
Yeah.
the old day surf mats, I suppose.
Well, why do you think you started
pretty
surfing?
much the same thing,
Yeah,
really. I got a liking for waves there.
Yeah, yeah. Because everyone seemed to be doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone, like we all played. I played rugby and athletics and things,
Yeah.
but everyone seemed to go surfing for some reason. It was, I guess, it was a
Yeah.
new sport, and everyone
Yeah.
enjoyed themselves.
And when I went to secondary school, a class I was in the 3rd form, there was a group of guys who all lived around the Takapuna area,
Yep.
and they were all into surfing then, you
Yeah,
know, so
And a lot of those guys are still surfing, aren't they?
some of them
I think
still
of Mark
surfing.
Wheeler and guys like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Wayne? What do you think? What made you start surfing?
Well, I'd always loved the beach since when I was a young kid, and when I came back from the UK, my uncle was into surfing, and he was a phys ed teacher at Northcote College.
Yeah.
And we used to go out to Muriwai and have a go on I think it was about a 10'6"
Yeah.
board he'd had, and I think it was my dad actually got on it to have a bit of a try, and caught this bit of white water, and the next minute there's the board folded in half over the top, you know. So my uncle wasn't very pleased about that. I think they fixed it and put a couple of broom handles up it and stuck it back together, you know. But yeah, so he sort of got me into it pretty much, but always loved the sea and fishing and
Yeah.
swimming.
Good. Yeah. It's hard to explain why. I know I've tried to explain why you enjoy surfing, but I think when you get a neat ride, you feel like about a 16-year-old kid or something. It's hard to explain, eh?
Absolutely, it's a real hoot, eh?
Yeah, yeah. And surf heroes? Anyone that when you're a young fellow surfing that you wanted to be like or you looked up to?
Yeah, well, there's one guy, I wasn't really into names and what have you, but
Yeah.
is there a Mickey Farrelly? Mick
Oh,
Farrelly?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Midget.
Midget,
Yeah,
midget,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
midget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First Aussie world champion. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he sort
yeah.
of stood out.
Yeah.
Probably because of the magazine I had, and
Yeah.
it was a big blow up of him on a
Yeah.
wave. But I remember that name. But
Yeah.
No, I wasn't really into names.
Yeah, yeah. I see there's a surfboard that is on Trade Me. Fairly surfboard.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, do you have any surf heroes? Or who'd you look up to, or just the guys?
No, no one special.
Yeah.
No.
Wayne?
No, me neither
Yeah.
really. I was just like Richie, you pick up the odd big name sort
Yeah,
of thing
yeah.
from overseas and what have you, but nothing really to
Yeah.
write home about.
Surf accidents. You've been lucky one, or you had a few?
Oh no, I've had a few. I had a bit of a eyebrow opened up.
Yeah.
Probably the worst one was here not too long ago. I did all the tricep muscles, and that's the ones that hook into your elbow.
So with your fin, how did you do that?
Pulled them out surfing.
Yeah, yeah, but on
No,
the fin or just?
Yeah, no, it just took a wave late and
Yeah.
held me on the back and pushed me onto the board.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
all my weight went on that
yeah,
arm on that angle, and
Yeah.
bang, I heard it go.
yeah, yeah. So it was internal more than
Yeah,
it
so
was
it's
cut.
3 months.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's
that
tough,
was
eh, having a break.
pretty
for
big when you're retired.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know. The surf's out there.
Good for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a
But no, they're a big
way.
big yeah.
So you had any accidents at all?
Not major.
No,
A few
no.
stitches
Yeah,
in the head.
yeah, yeah. What about you, Wayne?
No, touch wood, I've been
Very lucky.
charmed
Yeah,
life,
yeah. You had a favourite New Zealand first trip that you've been somewhere that was just like, man, that was a fantastic trip?
No, I've never been on trips.
Yeah.
Really. No,
Yeah.
I've sort of just done my own thing.
Yeah. Been any New Zealand surf trips that you?
Long time ago, when I was in the 60s, we went, a group of us went down Coromandel Way.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Hot water beach and.
that was the target.
Yeah.
We got there, and on the way there, we stopped at Tairua.
Oh, yeah.
Had a surf there. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
And we got up to Hot Water Beach, and it wasn't that good up there, so we went back to Tairua and camped on the beach for a week.
Yeah. Just kept on the beach. Yeah, yeah.
Well, the sand hills.
Yeah.
There
No
were no
hassle.
houses there then.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no houses there.
It's probably built out now and probably
Yeah,
asking
there's
$1 million.
houses all the way along there.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
good.
yeah.
And we were the only guys surfing
Yeah,
on the beach,
yeah.
so yeah, it was good.
Wayne, did you do much tripping around?
No, not a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Did a few trips up to Waipu when I was sort of 17, early part of the thing, but the best trip I think was that Raglan trip, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there for about 4 days and got better and better from
Yeah,
every day.
yeah.
It's just a,
Favourite beach, favourite break?
Waipu Cove.
Yeah.
For a longboard break.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a good
Waipu
consistent.
Cove
Yeah,
and Dings.
Dings, yeah.
Yeah.
Wayne?
we've had some good,
Yeah.
good times.
We've had some
Waipu
good surfing
Cove,
things.
Ding
Yeah,
Bay, and
Dings,
just out
yeah.
here, you know,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because it's on your back doorstep,
Yeah.
you know, you
Yeah.
won't go too far if it's
And
something
Angs.
reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lanes across the road.
Yeah.
We should show where we're filming at the moment.
Yeah,
We're looking over the beach, so it can't get much closer than that. Yeah. Stories. What's the weirdest thing you've seen when you've been going surfing or out surfing? You must have seen something hilarious. Can you think of anything? Or
Yeah, well, I don't know, you can cut it out if you like, but there's 3 of us out surfing this morning off the Raglan beach, and we noticed one of the mates, he went in, we thought, oh hell, something's happened to him and what have you, and we saw him trying to get out and mucking around with his wetsuit, and we asked him, what the hell were you doing there? And he said, oh, I was trying to ease out some nuggets I was trying for a crash. We thought that was gross.
your mum wash my
He
wetsuit?
had trouble getting out of his wetsuit.
Dear.
Think of another one, you can cut that
Yeah.
out.
Anything you've seen stupid out there?
The
That
strangest thing I've seen was at Rothsay Bay, and a dead whale washed in.
Yeah, right on your surf beach. Yeah,
Yep. We knew it was coming. You could smell it. It was
Yeah.
like it was a little still morning,
yeah,
and it was just a smell in the air, and you could see it after a while in the distance, and just
Yeah.
slowly washed in, come ashore.
yeah,
And they buried it low tide. The council buried it around the rocks.
yeah. So it didn't create a bar that you could surf the.
No.
It didn't create any sharks or anything.
Just globules of
Yeah,
oil in the water.
yeah, yeah.
Stunk dive.
Yeah. Wayne, what's the weirdest thing you've seen or on the way surfing? Anything stand
Well, the
out?
funniest thing, well, I don't suppose the guys thought it was funny, but those days you going out to Mirabai then, bloody old V8s and all sorts, you know, and stack of 5 boards, 2
Yeah.
up on
Old
the top,
Chevys
you know,
and things, yeah.
and the old Chevys, you pull up along the beach and all rush out and they all whip the bloody tie downs off and forgot about the wind and the whole lot. This wind. So the clatter bang crash all over the place.
Yeah, all the boards blew off.
Yeah, the whole lot.
We're going to, on the way to Parkery, going up the other side of Parkery Hill from the lee side.
Yeah.
In a Mori 8. And we had three of us with three big boards, those old.
Yeah. The roof works weren't too good in those days either, were they?
No,
and anyway, we had to, we got about halfway up the hill and couldn't go any further, and we had to go back down the bottom and reverse up the hill. It wouldn't go up forwards.
Yeah. She needed a valve grind or a bit more than that.
Reverse up to the top.
Yeah. So you made it there?
Oh, we made it there,
Yeah,
we made it.
Might have taken a little while, yeah. I just think it's great that in the surf club we've got here, that we've got 4 guys over 60. I think next year we're going to have 6 maybe over 60, so that's going to be great, I think.
Well, as already Brian.
He's 70.
Yes, 70. Yeah.
He's the mark 60s.
He's next year he'll be in the over 60s, and after that he goes into 70s.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
To get a new trophy.
Yeah, and he was pretty brave having to go and get out there today too. I thought he was. Yeah, and that was pretty horrible. Well, I thought it was. Yeah.
We'll have to go for a new group of over 60s and under 100s.
65s. No.
Yeah, well.
Oh, he'd be on his own again.
No, there'd be 2. Oh, either 70-year-old Brian.
Oh,
yeah,
Brian,
yeah.
He'll be 70 next year.
Yeah.
What?
Bloody well, eh?
Just can you explain why you enjoy surfing so much? Do you know why, or?
I think
It's just
it's an individual sport
Yeah.
for a start, and I think it's more of a soul thing. You get out there and just forget about all your troubles, your woes, or you know, there's wars going on on our beautiful little planet, and it's beautiful when you're sitting out there.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, it's just nice.
It's a calming effect.
Yeah. I know I had a business there in the 80s, and things were struggling a bit, and to go surfing, you just forgot about all your worldly worries, and
you did.
It's hard to explain why, but yeah. So I don't know what else to ask you guys. We've covered a lot of cars. First car. What was your first car? Or did you borrow your parents?
60 Mini Minor.
Was that fairly new?
No, it was second hand.
Yeah.
Well, Dad bought it. I couldn't afford it. Yeah, paid him off. But no, that's what carted my boards around.
Yeah. Did you know you could open the bottle of beer on the inside door of those?
Yes, yeah.
Did you figure that out? Yeah. Okay. What was your first car?
No, I didn't have one in those days.
Didn't have a car? Who'd you hitch a ride with, or walk across the road to the beach?
There's a guy at the VW, another guy in Anglia.
Yeah.
There are a few old Chevs, Model A's.
Yeah. Those little anglers were fast little cars, weren't they? I thought, I didn't have one, but my mate had one, and man, I had a Morris Minor, it could kick my butt. Yeah. What was your first car, Wayne?
Well, I was in 1947 or 48, I can't quite remember. Little bull nose by the Austin 7.
Yeah.
Austin 8, sorry, it was. Yeah.
So you went for miles on that thing?
Well, I was working at Merrimere at the power station, part of my apprenticeship, and the bloke used to boil coming up the Bombay Hill every time. So got rid of that, and then I got a Mark 1 console. That was a big upgrade. Yeah.
I always remember I was living at Nunga, and I had a Morris Minor, and I was going home one night and ran out of water, and I had to put some beer I had in there to put in the radiator. It just about made me cry, but at least I got home that night. But that's things you do. Yeah. No food fights, egg fights when you're out surfing with
no roughneck stuff.
No, all good wholesome stuff. Yeah. Well, I think that's about it. I don't know what else to ask you guys, but I'll try and get some photos off you. But as long as you're still enjoying surfing today, I think that's the main thing, eh? I get a great feeling when I catch a wave and you're passing a couple of kids and they say, "Oh, great wave, mate," and that does make you feel good when people say that to you. Yeah.
So you still got it, eh?
Yeah. Well, I've done that now and again.